Good evening from Investsharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Wednesday, September the 15th market update. On the economic front, the Empire State Manufacturing Survey came in at 4.14. Consensus was for 5, so it wasn't too bad. Monthly industrial production was up 0.2%, and capacity utilization was at 74.7%, pretty much in line. Weekly petroleum status report showed a drawdown of 2.5 million barrels, but it was possibly related to the Enbridge pipeline that was shut down in the Midwest, so oil was actually down a little bit on the day. On deck for tomorrow are the weekly jobless claims. Estimate is for 455,000, and we'll get the producer price index. Both of those numbers are at 8:30 Eastern time, followed by the U.S. Treasury International Capital number at 9 a.m. Eastern time, followed by the Philly Fed at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and then the weekly nat gas report at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. The dollar, silver, and copper were up. Gold was flat, and oil was down. Light sweet crude futures were down another 78 cents to settle at 76.02. Still hanging on. The dollar had just little tiny doji, equal buying and selling. I mean, it could be a reversal here. I mean, it's an inside day, obviously, of this big old bearish candle. Hard to tell yet. The West Texas Intermediate Crude Point Figure chart, we're back to here. We are on a buy signal with a price objective of $91 a barrel. So we'll continue to watch that, see if that actually plays out or not. In the Dow closed up 46 points to 10,572. S&P closed up 4 points to 1,125. Nasdaq closed up 11 points to 2301. And the Russell closed up 3 points to 652. The Russell had the largest gain, up 0.51%, and the S&P was the weakest, but still up 0.35%. Volume was pretty close to a near average daily volume, except on the diamonds, the DIA. The volume on it was down 36%, so I don't know, had really weak volume in the diamonds today. Let's see here. The Dow, we're back to this consolidation stuff, holding right above this downtrend line. I mean, that's pretty promising. So we're holding up fine. S&P, similar here, some sideways action. I mean, this, maybe it's tomorrow the jobless claims, I assume, could either, we could blow through this possibly, or we could roll over. So, I don't know, it depends. Or maybe it won't even have that much impact. It is option expiration week. But we're holding up really well. Obviously, we got this big resistance above us. And on the NASDAQ, same thing. We've around this 23, I don't know, 05 or so. We've got this resistance above us on the NASDAQ too, where we've touched several times, so we're definitely going to need some kind of catalyst to get us through there. Take a look at gold. Gold GLD's holding up fine. MACD's turned up. It's not, looks okay. The MACD's not real impressive on gold, especially the gold futures, but we'll see where they go. Silver's still real strong. Copper got a nice bounce. A lot of selling yesterday in copper, but it's still holding here around this area of support. Holding up fine, so we'll see where it goes from here. MACD's slightly pointed down. The euro bounced up a little higher today. Didn't move much. Couple cents there, but holding up all right. Look at the VIX. Volatility index moved up again, 2.5%. Didn't move a lot though. Obviously, we're still in the wedge. No big changes there. Let's take a look at the XLF. Financial sector still holding up. I like that. Typically when this MACD crosses, it's usually a positive thing. Sometimes we get a little pullback, but usually it turn to go higher. So financials are looking okay. XLF's looking okay. Some of the financials are looking okay. Let's take a look at the McClellan oscillator. All right, so on the NYSE McClellan, we're at 38.99. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ is at 51.588. So the NYSE is not overbought yet, and the NASDAQ is. We've got up into this 50, 60, 70, 80 area is really overbought. We're so just barely overbought. We're at 51.58, so we're a little overbought. We can be much more overbought than this though. So sectors, take a look at the sectors. 10 of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green. The healthcare index had the largest percent gain, up 0.84%. The home construction index was the weakest, down 1.18%. So over to Chart Watch, and a lot of good charts have been setting up, and I'm trying to come up with some new ideas each day, and hopefully you're keeping an eye on the ones that you're interested in each day, because I usually, don't typically always cover them twice, even though sometimes they're looking really good. First one is this little Middleby. I like this channel it's been in. I like the MACD is really high, and it's higher than it was here, these other areas, so I'm thinking it's probably getting close to a breakout. It should be a very eventually nice move here, and it may rest here a little bit, but looks interesting. Of course, it does have probably resistance up here at this prior high here, but thought that was an interesting chart. Looks pretty good. Baldor Electric already broke out of this triangle and had broke out higher. Went sideways here just a couple days, broke out higher today, so that one's looking really good as well. C-SPAN Corporation. I like how it built this kind of bottom, is basing for quite some time, and just seems to be moving higher. Still looks good. Nordstrom's had already broken out above the downtrend line here, and it broke a little higher over this prior resistance area here. Lots of volume coming in, so I would think Nordstrom's should definitely continue to move up as long as the market holds up. Mobile, actually we went over this one before. It actually still looks real good though. I like it. It's sitting right here, even though they did try to sell it today, and then came in and some buyers kind of try to buy it back up, so it still looks good. I like the OII. I like the channel it's in. Had volume today, broke out above this previous area of resistance right through here, so it's probably good to go up to the upside of the channel is what I would expect. Tata Motors. This had already broke out with volume. Selling came in today, and then they ran it back up, I guess, as the market strengthened later in the day. As long as it holds around this support area, I think it looks fine here. Skyworks, it is at breakout, so it either you could if it breaks out over today's high, you could jump on board then, or possible dip buy if we get any kind of dip. MasterCard, lots of volume kicking in today, and it did run into this prior downtrend line resistance here, and then it's got some more up here, but it had real strong, and it's looking pretty good. PLL, huge breakout higher after earnings here, and it's kind of gone now, but worth keeping an eye on. NetLogic, I like this channel it's been putting in. It's got a lot of volume coming back in, and the MACD pointing up, and it did break out above this downtrend line today, so it might be worth about a $3 to the upside move there. Harley breaking out today. Form Factor breaking out above the downtrend line today. Huge move. But you can keep an eye on it. Might be some short covering going on there for a few days. AGNC looks good. Broke out. BLUD breaking out above the downtrend line. Also is looking good. EURX. Whoops. If I can't type. This one broke out above the downtrend line as well, and also looks like it has a longer term triangle here, but also has this ascending triangle it broke out of with some volume kicking in, so that one looks pretty good. MENT broke out above where it's this prior resistance it's had as it's been going up on this ascending trend line here, and so it should be good to go. You could use that area somewhere for support, or possibly the 10.25 area, somewhere around that. SONC, another one that's breaking out above the downtrend line. Looked like it was a descending triangle, and it broke out today with some volume, so it's looking good. Doesn't. Sienna, I've been talking about this one. I really like this one longer term, and lots of volume coming in. It just seems like everyone gets nervous to start selling it. But if you look at this 5-year chart on Sienna, it looks pretty interesting here. So it's going over. Whoops, that's not the 5-year chart. 5-year weekly chart. It looks like it eventually could be putting in a inverted bottom, a head and shoulders bottom here on the weekly over a longer period of time, of course, but it could have quite a move higher. So I don't know. Like the volume, looks good. Vox breaking out above the downtrend line with volume, looks good. Huntsman. Right up against the downtrend line, but it had lots of volume kicking in here, and it's holding up well. And of course, it's got a high break here, so it looks like it's has this building this bottom to it. It's been in this more of a channel from 8 to 10 and 50, so I think it's worth keeping your eye on. CYH breaking out above the downtrend line with volume. ATR just moving higher. 44 should be some good support. Of course, Riverbed just continues to want to go higher. SIGA still holding tough above that 875, which should be support. Travel Zoo took off today. We talked about that one yesterday. I still like Walter Energy. It's still holding up well here, so keep an eye on it. EQR, again, I like this REIT, looking good. CE, already talked about this one I think yesterday or another day. It looks good still. RCRC breaking out today. Like this pattern, huge volume. Looks good for some higher prices. And Wabco, holding up well right where it's at, so should be positioning itself for higher prices. Let's go take a look at the current market signals. Follow the point figure chart for the Dow, Nasdaq, S&P. No changes here. Still on buy signals. We haven't moved a whole lot. Still looks good though. That is it for today. Thanks for watching.